From what I can tell, game developers aren't entirely sure what tanks want. Like, in their minds, their thinking is tanks want to have survival and want to have that level of responsibility of having to keep the group alive and tank everything. But then when I looked at some of the replies to Ghostcrawler's post, a lot of those replies were from tanks saying, no, I just want to be another DPS, right? I like when I can just do damage, do my rotation, and yes, I am tanking the things, but it's fun when I'm tanking the things and I'm doing DPS at the same time. That's the thing that they find most fun. So I'm not sure if you maybe, like, if you made tanks, say for example, in PvE, not necessarily in PvP, because in PvP that would be broken as fuck, right? But since World of Warcraft does have the separate kind of, or the separator, you could do that very easily, because PvP and PvE scales completely differently nowadays. But what if you made tanking a sort of thing where your survival abilities actually increase your damage? So if you use your survival abilities perfectly, that actually increases your damage. So your tank starts doing more damage as it takes more damage, as it absorbs more damage. Do you think that would entice more players to start picking up tanks? Because now they are just DPS. The difference is just that their DPS comes very much from taking damage. So they want to be the tank because they want to be the one taking the damage, because it actually boosts their DPS. So it becomes a different type of DPS class rather than just a pure tanking class. Because we have a problem in World of Warcraft with tanks. It takes forever to get groups. And that's because there aren't enough tanks in the game. Healers is another problem that I'm not entirely sure how to solve. But, you know, let's just focus on the tanks for now. If you doubled the amount of tanks that is in the game, you automatically halve the queue times in the game, right? So your thinking should just be about how do we double the amount of tanks? And maybe how do we triple it? Because more tanks, fewer queue times. What's the answer? That's the question.